Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. We're coming off an incredible two-day week in Salt Lake City. 2 events, 4 World Finals champions, and I am joined by one that just rocked Rice-Eccles Stadium right out of the building. We're going to fire up the Zenny Optical hotline to go to Louisiana to welcome in our newly crowned BKT World Finals Freestyle champion, Blake Granger. Welcome back to the show. I didn't think I was going to have you on so soon again, but man, what a run, and congratulations on another championship win for you.
Appreciate it, man. Super pumped to be back, especially for this reason, man. You know, it's been a long time coming, and I've been fighting for this moment, and to finally lock up a World Finals Freestyle championship, you know, that's, in my opinion, that's the top of the world right there in Monster Jam, and I'm super pumped to take home that Freestyle championship.
What a year you've had. I mean, we go back to the International Series Championship, which now you've won twice, and you win the Arena Championship Series East. You're the fastest qualifier at World Finals. You're the JCB Arena Racer of the Year, and then BKT Freestyle World Finals champion. And the year is not even over yet, man. I would put the 6 months you've had in 2025 up against any other driver in the sport. I'd probably even go back, maybe in history, is one of the greatest runs we've ever seen. What is your level of emotion right now as you continue to just hit accolade after accolade in Monster Jam?
Man, it's honestly surreal. You know, I was actually talking to Chad, my crew chief, just the other day, and he's like, man, everything we've accomplished in just 6 months, it's insane. You know, it's a dream. We've been living a dream, to be honest to you. And, you know, starting out the year in Dalmatian and not knowing what to expect, to being a 2-time champion and a World Finals champion, it was definitely not expected, but at the same time, I knew I was capable. I believed in myself. Like I always say, it doesn't matter what body's on that truck. And I knew I wanted to take everything that was put into my hands in January and, you know, show the world that it doesn't matter if you're driving a Dalmatian. We're going to come out there and we're going to fight to the finish. We're going to give it our heart and soul. That's exactly what we did. 2-time series champ, World Finals champ. It doesn't get much better than that.
I think I asked you the first time I had you on the show a couple of years ago. I think I talked about your ATV World Finals championship back in 2019. It's still a World Finals championship. But I know there's always an asterisk on those because they were triple threat series. So you're always talking about the validation of winning one of the big ones, the racing or the freestyle championship. Does this give you that validation that now in the books you're still a 2-time World Finals champion, but now you get one in the main field?
Most definitely. You know, it's there was 23 other drivers in that freestyle competition, 23 of the best drivers in Monster Jam. And, you know, win, lose, or draw, we walked out number 1. And that was my first opportunity besides last year, which didn't go my way in Max D, to have the opportunity to freestyle and race against 23 of the best competitors in Monster Jam. And we proved our point. We were the fastest qualifier. We had the potential to win racing. Dalton threw me in that left lane, which threw me for a curveball, but that's racing. I should have been able to overcome. I did not. Turning right is not my strong point. Something I'm going to work on for the future. I'm looking forward to going back next year. But to be able to go out and freestyle, everyone had to deal with that same track. A lot of people struggled. And my motocross background definitely took me to the next level on that track, which is a huge advantage to me. And, you know, I'm sitting here holding this bad boy right here. It's a dream come true, something that I'm never going to be able to lose. It's mine. No one can take it from me. And we're World Finals champ.
Well, that blue lane was eating drivers alive on Friday night, and then to start Saturday, the red lane was eating them alive. But then we go out for 20 minutes, we do track maintenance, and all of a sudden it's back to the blue lane eating everybody alive. So you're not the only one that was getting pushed over there that wasn't able to advance. Talk about the race lanes.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm going to be honest. It was pretty upsetting to watch on Saturday that right lane was so wet that it was honestly a huge disadvantage. And in my opinion, the event should have been stopped after the first race. The lane should have been fixed, or they should have even reran the first race once they fixed it. It's not driver fault or error that, you know, the right lane was soaking wet after the right lane's been the fastest lane the entire weekend. So that was a little hard to swallow, but that also made me super excited that I raced on Friday. I didn't have to deal with it. I got to go out and beat JCB Tristan England, which is a reigning World Finals racing champion, to be able to take him out in the second round, get to the third round. That's an accomplishment in itself. I was super excited just to race. You know, last year my truck would not start our fire on the line, and I got sent to the back the last year Max D potentially ever runs a World Finals racing. So I knew this year I was fired up to go and show every one of those drivers and the rest of the Monster Jam fans that we do belong, we can race, we can win. We had a great weekend.
You have redemption on your mind. You came through in a big way. And coming up next, we will go back to Salt Lake City and talk about the entire week with Blake Granger, your BKT Freestyle World Finals champion, next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. I am joined this week by the newly crowned BKT Freestyle World Finals champion, Blake Granger. So, Blake, we're going to get back to the action on the track in Salt Lake City, but first I want to talk about the build-up, because anybody that follows you on social media, Facebook or Instagram, saw you were taking your time to get out there from Louisiana to Salt Lake City, stopping at some fun spots. So talk about that build-up to get to Rice-Eccles Stadium, and you look like you were having a blast.
Most definitely. My entire career in Monster Jam, I've been on the East Coast or the Central Tour, so I don't have much time on the West Coast. So when we found out that the Salt Lake City World Finals was going to be moved similar to the West Coast, I wanted to take advantage of that and, just relax. And you're not stuck in an airport, you're not rushing, you're not losing baggage. Tony Oaks lost his luggage flying into World Finals, so I didn't have to deal with any of that stuff. I was able to get there smooth and happy and clean. I had my house on wheels, which also makes you feel like you're at home, which is a huge advantage whenever you're just relaxing and trying to be ready for the biggest event of your career. And it was one awesome week leading up to Salt Lake City.
Yeah, man, it looked like you got there just relaxed, having fun, and that showed on the track immediately, because you become the fastest qualifier, which is an honor that shouldn't be taken too lightly. Talk about Thursday night's qualifying festivities and what it meant to you to not only grab the freestyle trophy, but to also get that fastest qualifier trophy too.
I have to give all the credit, honestly, to my crew chief, Chad, man. We've become best friends this year. And something cool about Chad is he has a background in racing and building motors. So it wasn't so much just a guy working on a truck. He was doing everything in his power to give me the absolute best chassis that he can. And it paid off. This entire year, I've won more racing than I've won in my whole career. I think we finished second to only Ryan Anderson with the winning percentage this year, which is an accomplishment in itself. And to be able to take that confidence in not only my truck, but my crew chief to the World Finals, as soon as I strapped in, I was ready. I knew the truck was going to perform. I knew I was going to perform. And all that confidence, displayed on the track. As soon as that light turned green, I could throw that truck as hard as I want into any turn. I know it wasn't going to flip. I know it was going to track, and I know it was going to do exactly what I wanted to do. And that was my first World Finals in a truck that I drove for 6 months, whereas last year I got thrown in a truck that I didn't even drive all year. Right. So getting acclimated to a truck, I like to do it. It's something that I get to do internationally. I'm always switching vehicles, so it's awesome to be able to have that experience. But when you're in your own machine for 6 months and you get to go race it, it's a whole different ball game, and that's exactly what happened in Salt Lake.
When we debuted the racing bracket immediately after you were the fastest qualifier, Kay Young asked me at the desk what I thought was the most exciting spot in that bracket. And I said, right where you were, because as the fastest qualifier, you were rewarded with a round 2 matchup against the 2023 JCB Racing World Finals champion, Tristan England, who you did beat. But, man, you had such a tough draw. So that fastest qualifier got you the trophy, got you the accolades, got you the #1 spot. But, man, you had to go through some big names and some big racers on that bracket. And you talked about the race lanes, but there was no easy round for you.
Most definitely. As soon as I saw Tristan, it's funny, we raced, I got to fill in for Tom Mintz last year driving Max D, and I actually had to race him a few times. And I think I got him once, he got me once, and we were kind of 50-50 in stadium racing against each other. We've competed against each other on arena tours for years. And he went on to win a 2-wheel skills World Finals championship. I went on to win freestyle. We're both bringing some gold home to the families, to our kids. And job well done to both of us.
You had the honor of watching Zach Garner Wildside throw down one of the most incredibly notorious freestyle runs I've ever seen on 3 wheels on Friday night. As you're sitting there watching him do this run with the tire popped and going down to the rim, what were your thoughts immediately? Did you think that was it, he'd won it, or did that amp you up and hype you up a little more to go out there and try to take it from him?
Man, I actually have mixed reactions on that. First off, Zach did have an amazing run. I actually had the opportunity to do that back in Germany a few years ago in Max D. I popped a tire, and there's something a little different about those runs. When you pop a tire, you just floor the throttle, and whatever happens, happens, and it's cool and it's amazing, and I totally agree. It was an amazing run. But the reason he got there is because he came up short on a jump, which did not take skill. He tried to jump a jump, cased it, blew a tire, blew a rim. and had to compensate for what happened. An amazing run, not taking anything from Zach. In my opinion, he could have took the world, freestyle championship. It was a tough pick between both of us. But in my defense, I didn't wreck. I didn't come up short on a jump. I went out there and laid down a technical run. I included 2-wheel skills. I had big air. I had 2 backflips. So it's really a luck of the draw and something I like to fall back on. And this is going to mean something to me holding this trophy is Tom Mintz, Dennis Anderson, judges. And they scored my run higher. The fan judge was only 25%. He got a higher fan judge score. It is what it is. But to know that Tom and Dennis appreciated my run and gave me the score that they did, that closes the deal for me. If it would have just been a fan score, I could have said, okay, Zach, you got it. Hats off to you. He's a good friend of mine. He's an amazing kid. He's an amazing driver. But I could have came up short and blew a wheel off too and just floored it and drove around like I was crazy also and tried to win. But I went out there and did what I had to do to get the job done.
Well, coming up next, we are going to dive into the run that made Blake a World Finals champion. That is next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Monster Jam fans, you can rev up your vision thanks to our good friends at Zenni. Make sure you go to zenni.com/monsterjam. Enter the code monsterjam at checkout. You can save 10% on your order. You can frames like mine. These are prescription. I love them. They have everything from sunglasses to regular glasses, reading glasses, you name them. Zenni's got them. Zenni.com/monsterjam and rev up your vision. Now, welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. My guest this week is Blake Granger as we chat all things World Finals and his Freestyle Championship. Let's talk about the run, man, because you had some time to watch the track. We were talking about Zach's run. How much of your run was premeditated and calculated, and how much of it was just flying by the seat of your pants?
Man, honestly, it was a huge advantage for me freestyling Saturday night. I got to watch the entire freestyle event Friday, and I believe I was number 8 on Saturday, so I got to watch almost 60 or 70% of Saturday go also, and the track was just eating everyone alive. People were trying to get big air, people were trying to do cool things, but they were coming up short and, casing jumps and flipping and wrecking and not able to save it. This year, I actually had a lot of my friends there, and we were all sitting together watching, and it was so funny to hear them. Right before I left to go to my truck for freestyle, everyone was throwing out their opinions. 2-wheel skills, no one's doing 2-wheel skills. Multiple big airs, 2 backflips, and they're all just throwing this stuff at me. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be strategic. I'm not gonna wreck, I'm not gonna case anything. I'm gonna jump safely. You can still jump big and jump to safe land. You don't have to sit there and come up short and destroy the truck. And that was all pre-planned. I just wanted to go out there. I wanted to hit the step up first, big air. Tom Mintz always pounded in my head, your first hit has to matter. And sure enough, we went out there, hit the step up, sent it big, and let the rest of the run come to us, and it all worked out.
You hit the second backflip. The fans went nuts. Everybody knew when the clock was done and you were done that it was a great run. What we didn't know is what the score was going to be. So you get out of the truck, you're standing up there, big dramatic shot of you down there waiting for your score, looking up at the board like everybody else. Your score pops up. The fans went nuts. You went nuts. What was your initial emotion as soon as you saw that you had now taken over the lead with literally 4 drivers left to go?
Man, it's the biggest event of the year. As of now, potentially the biggest event of my career, almost 10 years in. And it was just a full circle moment. I've been through so much, whether, the ups and downs and the championships and the losses and potentially not even knowing if I'm going to drive again, to being taken out of Max D. And, one of the biggest things that hits home is feeling like I let Tom down last year. The truck not running for racing, wrecking early in freestyle. This was exactly how I pictured last year going for that last year at Max D. And unfortunately, it didn't go that way. And it just weighed heavily on me for 365 days until we got to Salt Lake City. And, like I tell everyone, there might be a Dalmatian body on that truck, but in my brain, I'm still driving maximum destruction, and I'm still going to go out there and drive that truck as hard as I possibly can. It doesn't matter if we're in an arena. It doesn't matter if I'm going up against 24 of the best people or 7 arena drivers. I'm going to give my all every single time I hit that track, and seeing that first place score pop up, man, it was an emotional moment. And at the same time, it just released all the animosity and everything that I've built up over these years. It just finally felt like I was where I belonged, and, I earned it.
We've talked about that chip on your shoulder and the constant, feeling that you have to earn respect no matter what you do. And this win, I think, in my opinion, should eliminate any of that, hopefully from you, because you've earned respect from everybody. You're a world champion. You're a series champion. You've made history. And when you think about the names, the biggest drivers in Monster Jam, your name, at least right now, has to be at the top of that list. So that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Most definitely, and I'll say it again, to be able to accomplish all that, mainly in Dalmatian, whenever, I say it once, when I walked out that tunnel that first weekend in January, they were laughing, watching me walk out in a white polka dotted outfit. I knew right there it lit a fire in me that I was going to destroy every single one of them on that tour, which I was able to do so. And then to go to World Finals and have to face every driver in that company wearing that white fire suit with those polka dots. I didn't get laughed at there. We showed up at the first moment and was fastest qualifier, and they knew we meant business. And, I had Cody Soche and the fastest drivers in the world asking me how I was taking that berm so fast. And that was just my skill set, man. I was able to finally show them that I belong, and here we are, a World Finals champion.
I told you made polka dots look good, man. You make them fashionable. When you look at Monster Mud history, Charlie Pauken won a freestyle championship in the original Monster Mud. Cynthia Gauthier won a high jump championship in the Monster Mud Dalmatian ice body. You're the first driver to win a world championship in the standard polka dot Monster Mutt Dalmatian. So, that's got to make you feel good that you brought a title to Dalmatian Nation, man. They can't laugh at you anymore. Everybody's going to be rocking polka dots now. Watch that. Quarter one, you come out, you're still in that truck. Everybody's going to be in polka dots. I'm calling it now.
I agree. And you know what? It's crazy. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually looking forward to driving it again next year. We won a championship in it. I think we represent the brand well now, and we've done something that's never been done in it before. So hopefully they'll keep it going. I'm dying to get the stadiums, man. I've done everything I can to show them that I belong, and I just really look forward to potentially getting on a U.S. stadium tour. I love architecture. I love NFL. I love all these massive stadiums, and to be able to go and represent Monster Jam, the Dalmatian brand, and myself across the U.S. and stadiums. That's my goal, and hopefully we earn that spot.
We're down to about a minute here. I did want to ask you, you have the freestyle lead. There's one competitor left. It's the reigning freestyle champion, Tyler Menninger. We all know what happened with his truck, but how nervous were you watching Gravedigger come out of the track knowing it was down to you or the defending freestyle champion?
Man, I was just excited to know that no matter what, I was leaving with a gold or silver medal. My second year at World Finals, that's an accomplishment in itself. But to be honest, man, Tyler is one of my good friends. I have been on tour with him probably more than any other Gravedigger driver, and I've gotten so close to beating him multiple times, but it never went my way. And you know what? Tyler always has the good luck. Tyler has all the accolades. He's an amazing driver. It was time for a little bit of karma for him for taking me down all those years, and I think it was just my time, man. I think everything was meant to be, and here we are, World Finals champion. Tough luck for Tyler. Everyone's going to respect him no matter what. He's an amazing dude, and it was my time.
It is your time. It's still your time. Coming up next, though, it is your time watching and listening. Get your questions for Blake next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. I'm joined this week by Monster Mutt Dalmatian driver and World Finals freestyle champion Blake Granger. And now it is time for your questions. You can get them in each week on Instagram at Scott Jordan MJSX. Brennan Jopp is asking, how much time do you get to walk the track before events, and when do you get the best ideas for your maneuvers?
Man, World Finals, we actually had a good bit of time. They got us there on Tuesday, so I think as early as Wednesday, I was able to start walking the track. And then, we were practicing, I think, Wednesday afternoon, qualifying Thursday. So that's not always the case in an arena track. And for stadiums, normally we get there on Friday, so we're a little more limited on time. But normally on, first quarter schedules, we drive on the same tracks, so we don't have to walk it so much. But for World Finals, motocross background, new tracks everywhere I go racing motocross. That's one of my specialties, is being able to read the dirt, read the faces, read the jumps, take advantage of that.
Matt Pendergast saying you competed against a lot of tough competitors on the E-Series. Out of those competitors, who was the toughest to beat night in and night out?
Man, it started with Tony Oaks. He's always a tough competitor. But I have to give my hats off to MJ, man. That guy came on like a rocket ship towards the middle and end of that season. He was taking two-wheel skills wins away from me. He was taking freestyle wins away from me. As for racing, Brandon Talachka, man, he was always right there in the final with me. That's probably one of the hardest guys for racing, but I'm gonna have to give it to MJ, man. MJ earned it this year.
All right, yeah, MJ Solorio, great, great, and he gets on the podium for for skills. So what a run for that kid. So Monster Jam Kid is asking, how did it feel to win your very first World Finals championship trophy after winning the 2 series championships early this year? We've talked about this. So I'm gonna put that in a different avenue here. What do you think the World Finals championship? Obviously the pinnacle, or was the 2 series championships right there with it on equal ground? How do they weigh against each other?
Man, to be honest, getting my first arena championship in the same year as the World Finals championship, that's insane to me. But I have to put the World Finals on top of the game, man, because that arena championship was only against 7 of the up and coming drivers. Yes, they're all amazing, they're all great. I was up against a stacked tour. But when you step foot into that World Finals league, you're going up against 23 of the best drivers across all the tours. So we definitely got to put that World Finals Freestyle trophy on top of the list. But, same thing with international, man. People always take away the importance of that international championship, but they don't realize Charlie Palk and Bari Musauer themselves are 2 of the best drivers in the world. Look at Bari. He almost won the Stadium Series against Tyler Meninga this year. Just that right there elevates that international championship. And, I'm super pumped. Matt Cody almost winning his Arena Series championship. It's not an easy tour, and we've won it twice.
Well, if you didn't have a bullseye on your back before, now you definitely do, man. So where can fans see you next defending your freestyle championship?
Man, we're off to Singapore at the end of August. We're going to knock out an entire international tour again this 3rd and 4th quarter. And fingers crossed that I get that phone call to get back on a domestic tour come January. I'm hoping that World Finals Championship has gotten me the spot. I know Tyler Duke's leaving a Megalodon open, and I absolutely love driving that Megalodon truck. I can see the world out of it, which is a huge advantage. So fingers crossed, we'll be driving maybe a Meg first quarter. If not, keep me in Dalmatian. Let's rock.
Looking forward to it. Blake, thanks so much. Congratulations again on your BKT Freestyle World Finals Championship.
Thank you guys for having me, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Blake Granger, everybody, that is all the time we have. I'll see you next week on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil.